up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Real Heroes Show. You got Cory and Nick with you here. And in this video, we just cannot get enough thinking about Marvel's What If. Yes, the show is over. No, we don't care. We're going to give a little bit of rundown on our thoughts of the season as a whole, and then share some of our own what ifs that we've come up with as, maybe some suggestions for a potential season 2, or just some stuff that might be so absurd that they would never do it on their own right. So, Nick, how you doing today?
I am doing well. Doing well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Wednesday. Do you feel the gap in your heart now that there's no What If to watch?
Yeah, I'm a little bummed, honestly.
Yeah,
I think, again, we would actually be covering most likely the ninth or the What If the Watcher Broke His Oath episode if we would have
today.
had the Gamora episode still in the season. So
Yeah.
um and then we would probably do this video even after the fact. So we'd still be talking it for like at least
We
another 2 weeks. But here we are
we
just with
would.
1 week.
Yeah, we got a couple weeks, I think. Hawkeye doesn't start until November 24th, so about a
Yeah.
month and a half Marvel dry spell on television. However, we do have the Eternals coming out on November 5th, which is about 3 weeks from the time of this recording. So
Yep.
not too bad. We're all very spoiled when 3 weeks is a long time to wait. I
For
love that
cons.
we're
Yeah.
love that we're at that point, which is fantastic. So to keep it real short, we've kind of spoken already about how we thought that this was a great first go at it. But what was your favorite episode of season one?
Yeah, I think on any given day I might flip flop between two in particular. I mean, obviously the finale was great, but I think as we mentioned before, that episode doesn't really hold as well as it could, and the heroes inevitably defeating Ultron
Right.
because of Doctor Strange, or rather Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange. So, and again, kind of going back to that episode 4 through the season, and just man, the way it made us feel, dreariness, the darkness of it, just like the overall melancholy, and in the pocket dimension that
Yeah.
he's left in, only for the Watcher to require his aid, just brings that importance back to everything, to the multiverse. So um, it's a tough one between those two. I feel like if I would have flipped the coin, it would just land right on its side, and it'd be like, well,
And then it would be like the end of Inception, where the totem is just spinning over and
spinning.
over and over.
Yeah, it's like, is it strange? Is it finale? I don't know, but
Right. For me, it's the Strange episode. I thought that was perfectly crafted.
yeah,
Cumberbatch was outstanding. The voice acting, the ending was perfect. The way that it just kind of shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and made you feel smaller and smaller as he gets trapped into that weird little dimension.
right.
Just it was. I didn't expect anything like that for this entire season. I expected some stuff like what we got in episodes 8 and 9, where it was like, oh, it's going to be some wild fights and animation lets you do some weird stuff, and then a team up where everybody kind of takes on somebody. Like that kind of stuff is very Marvel, and we've become like accustomed to expect that almost.
Right.
The Doctor Strange thing, that floored me. I did not see that coming. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Easily my favorite of the year. Least favorite episode. I think we're kind of in agreement on this, and it's not because it's necessarily bad. I felt like the third episode, after seeing the entire season, was probably the weakest of the bunch.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's one where if the world lost its mightiest heroes, and it's all up because of Hank Pym in the yellow
Yeah.
jacket suit, and he's kind of gone mad, thinking that his daughter was used and killed, while working with Shield, and
Yep.
to to Loki's and Nick Fury's dismay, they were like, "Hey, just kidding. She actually was doing good." And
Right.
um, you know, it just kind of made Hank Pym go, "Oh, what have I done?" And while in a graveyard, of course,
Of
in
course.
across from San Francisco, I think it was. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it just didn't. It was good, but I think it wasn't the strongest of the season. I mean,
Mhm.
especially when you've got Captain Carter, you've got Star Lord T'Challa, you've got the Strange, you've got the zombies and everything that entails with that, with the with Scarlet Witch. You've got the Party Thor episode, which leads into the Ultron and then the
Yep.
Watcher, and even with Killmonger, taking over Stark Tech and Wakanda, like,
Right.
and then obviously be included in the finale as well. So it's like every episode that had something to do that was inclusive of the last episode,
Hmm.
mattered. So that was the one that just mattered the least.
Yeah, I think you're right. It just didn't really, it didn't connect the same way that the rest of the episodes did.
Yeah.
It was fun. It wasn't bad, and that's the thing we're trying to get across here is that it
Right.
wasn't necessarily a bad episode. It just probably was the weakest of the bunch. But
Yeah.
um, it I'd still watch it again if given the opportunity.
Right.
I will probably do a rewatch of the entire series before season two comes out sometime next year.
Same.
But speaking of a season two, this is the part where we get to have fun and be a little bit creative. We each thought of a few of our own what if scenarios that might be fun, might be miserable and depressing. We'll find out in a minute. Um, I'm going to share my first one
Hey, go
because
for it.
it was the first thing that popped into my head, and it's what if Steve killed Tony at the end of Civil War? So they're fighting, and it's Bucky and Steve against Tony, and then at the end, Steve is ramming the shield into Tony, and he breaks the reactor,
Yeah.
and then eventually throws the shield down. What if that turned into like an end of episode 4 of Falcon and Winter Soldier type thing where John Walker kills that guy, but it's Tony Stark?
Yeah. That would have been very interesting because
Yeah.
obviously leading up to the events with Infinity War and Endgame, like all that would have been completely different. Um, and I almost wonder how it would have affected Peter Parker
Yeah.
a little bit more, moving forward. And it's like at that point, who would have really ignited or reignited the Avengers, um, and giving Cap that call. But yeah, that's a pretty interesting one.
Yeah. It also fits in with the theme of Tony getting killed. So
Yeah,
the
exactly.
what if writers really enjoy doing that. So
Yeah,
uh,
they do.
go ahead and give us one of yours.
Yeah, something that we haven't seen in the MCU yet, but hopefully maybe down the line, if they continue the whole what if thing, maybe we'll see some inclusion of mutants.
Ooh, maybe.
And for people that have read the comics or watched the old '90s cartoons on Fox, like I did,
Yep.
X-Men and the Brotherhood, obviously, with Charles Xavier leading the X-Men and Magneto
Mhm.
leading the Brotherhood. But what if the Brotherhood were the good guys
Mm,
and the X-Men just didn't really care about the human race? And the complications of the powers that the X-Men had, right? And not just talking about like Storm, who can control the weather, which she could be like, I'm just going to create tsunamis and hurricanes and in immense weather storms. To It's like you can't really stop the weather, so the
right.
only thing to do would be to stop her. Um, uh, I feel like Magneto would probably be doing a lot of it, and because of the power level that Magneto is on,
Right.
it'd be like the same thing where Xavier would be the one that's trying to knock the helmet off of Magneto and kind of
Mhm.
get in his head and whatnot. But to think about Jean Grey and how she turns into the Phoenix, and
Yep.
rather Dark Phoenix would be the case as well if she was obviously not for the human race. And of course, Dark Phoenix really isn't and just wants to destroy everything. But
Everything.
so that kind of lines up with it.
Yeah,
But
it
also
does.
thinking about again the main guy, Professor X, uh, just him being able to like use Cerebro and calibrate that and just get in every human's
Oh,
mind. Like
man, and
that
use it for
is
evil.
yeah, like
Ugh.
that would be downright nasty and
Yeah.
scary. And just like in the movies, like he would just kind of cause everything to freeze, right, and just
Yep.
stop time. Which again, using powers like that would just be like extremely dangerous
Yep.
because it's like the assassinations that could happen, the mass killings that would be horrendous to see. And you know, uh, I know in the comics with Onslaught, how Onslaught gets created is when you've got the hatred from Magneto and what happens with
Hmm.
Professor X, and then they just mold together, and then Onslaught is just this super evil, omnipotent being
Right.
that requires basically heroes to sacrifice themselves, which is one of my favorite parts in the comics. Um, in order for people to be restored and just to kill or subdue Onslaught. But yeah, that'd be pretty crazy to see. I feel like something like that could it could be like a one episode or just something that would happen and then like lead into another like grand finale like they did in this
Right.
season.
Yeah. Where the big bad is Professor X.
Right.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool. Um, cool. My next one is a pretty basic one, but what if during the events of Infinity War, Star Lord didn't fuck up on Titan, and they got the glove off?
Yeah, that's a big one
Where do
because
you go from there? Does Thanos get defeated? Does he get the glove back at some other point? Who takes the glove? Because at that point, you've got Iron Man, Spider Man, the Guardians, Doctor Strange. Who wields the Infinity Gauntlet at that point, right?
I feel like what they could have done at that point is create the Illuminati.
Mm,
I know that like, the mutants aren't there because Professor X and then Beast were in charge of one of them. But I mean, you've got T'Challa,
yep,
you've got Tony, you've got Strange.
change. Yep.
I know Mr. Fantastic had one,
Mhm.
which he hasn't been introduced yet, but he would. But I feel like for now, you could have like probably let I'd say I mean, honestly, I would say probably Captain Marvel, you know,
Yeah.
would probably be in charge of one because she can. And I'd say maybe Thor and then the Guardians uh, would probably
I don't
be.
think Star Lord would be part of the Illuminati.
No, no, no. I mean like maybe uh again I don't know the Guardians as a whole because like I feel like Rocket would probably be the only semi-logical one to deal with it, but if it's not the Guardians, then
Yeah.
I feel like I'd maybe say Spider-Man with Peter. But I feel like Tony would be like, yeah, kid, you're not ready for this. Like this
Right.
isn't something that you can handle. So, um, but I think Thor, Carol. So it's kind of like that sixth one. Who would that sixth one go to? Maybe Cap.
Yeah, maybe
I'd
Cap,
say.
maybe
I'd say,
Banner, because Banner's a
yeah,
genius.
yeah. One of them. So I mean, I think again, like I think the creation of the Illuminati would have been really cool to see, and then like Thanos comes back at some point, or something happens again, maybe because of the multiverse,
Oh, true.
that happens, and then Thanos comes back, and maybe he already has the gauntlet,
Hmm.
or he learns what happened and realize, oh, there's another me here. It looks like they beat me, but I am inevitable, and now I've come to complete what my other self couldn't.
Hmm.
Maybe he kills his old self and be like, you're the you know there can only be one.
It
So
can only be one. I like
you
that.
know so that'd actually be really cool, to see. Because again, like we don't know if Thanos might come back because of what Kang's done.
You never know. There's always a
So
chance that if there are variants of Loki, theoretically there are variants of Thanos, and that is horrifying. So,
very.
all right, hit us with another one.
Yeah, you kind of piggyback on with the Thanos. What if you were to use it for good, right? Which, just like we saw in the second episode, where T'Challa sort of talks him out of genocide.
Yeah.
But what if it's like, hey, I know how I can really help the people, and across the universes, uh, or every planet in this universe alone. It's going to require, obviously a sacrifice, but also me getting all these stones. So like there's a lot of convincing that
Mhm.
needs to be done. And of course, people would probably be like, how do we know if we can trust him?
Sure.
So I feel like there could be some, pushback, and I feel like it would be more drama related than action. But at the same time, once the deed has been done and he snaps and fixes everything, like we're talking poverty, diseases, wealth, e- the earth, the environment, right? Any sort of problem that we might have, peace. everything, right?
He does it
And
without murdering everybody.
exactly. It just with a simple snap
Yeah.
because that's what the gauntlet and the six infinity stones can provide. So once he does that, of course, he sacrifices the use of his arm and whatever as well, right?
Yep.
But that's done. Cool. It doesn't seem like it'd be a bad thing to see. However, there's always going to be light and darkness, good and
Hmm.
evil, etc., yin and yang, heaven and hell,
Always.
whatever you want to call it. So who's going to be the bad guy to go? I don't like what he did. You know, who is the big naysayer? You
Mhm.
know, who's the possible cosmic being that said, "Hey, you weren't supposed to do that," or "I didn't like the fact that you did that." Could it be Null, who is
Could be.
the symbiote creator? Could it be Mephisto, the dreaded
And
M
Mephisto
name?
confirmed.
Because he is a spawn of hell, and at
Uh,
that point, hell is evil, bad. So why would he want to see all the good being done?
right.
Hey, I don't like that you created and fixed all the corruption. I'm gonna come here and have something to do with it, Thanos. Or possibly Galactus. Like, cool.
Galactus.
Oh, you guys fixed everything? Nom 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 nom
I'm
nom
gonna eat
nom.
y'all up.
Yeah, cool. There's more of you now. Nom 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 nom. So, and it's like, how do they band together to stop another sort of omega level or
Yep.
cosmic high level tier being? So, but it's like everything is good, and just when you thought it was good, it goes bad.
It goes bad again.
So, I know it'd be pretty kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make
Um,
Thanos a bad guy.
I I feel like Thanos. A lot of people connected with him because he was a supervillain, but he had a I don't want to say a good idea. His intentions were pointed in the right direction. He wanted the universe to thrive and succeed, and people to be, you know, full bellies, like he said, and everybody
Right.
living well. But the way he went about doing it was horrifying. So
Yeah.
it would be interesting if he had those same ideals, but he went about it the right way. So that would be fun. I'm going to share one more, and it has to do with a property that is releasing soon in theaters. We've seen footage in the Eternals trailers and featurettes where Dane Whitman's character asks Cersei, why didn't you guys help to fight
Interfere.
Thanos
Yeah.
or any of the other horrible things that have happened across the timeline of planet Earth? So what if the Eternals did intervene when
Yeah.
Infinity War happened? We saw in What If season 1 when Ultron had one stone, he sliced Thanos in half. The Eternals are 7,000-year-old gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you think that fight would have gone in the event that even if one of them stepped in, what would have
Yeah.
happened?
It's like if Icarus would have jumped in, right?
Right.
I mean, uh, uh, or Athena, right? I think
Yo,
just,
her weapons are dope.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
God.
Like, I feel like, especially the Black Order would have gotten their asses handed to a bit quicker.
Yeah.
Um, and man, it would have we wouldn't have lost some of the heroes. Again, I don't even think it would have come to the snap period.
Right.
Just hey, we know the stones. Getting all of them together would be bad. If we need to stop him, we can to prevent half the entire universe from being wiped out in a
Yep.
single snap. Um, yeah, and I wonder what the ramification would have been, right, from like the Celestial going, well, only one of you interfered, so that one Eternal is just going to have to pay the consequence, not the
Yeah.
rest.
Off to
Because
the
it,
living tribunal with you
which man,
judged
we see the living
by.
tribunal at some point. Oh man, I'll
Yo, there
shit
there was a
myself.
living tribunal head in that episode of Loki,
Yes,
and I feel like as we're getting more and more cosmic with this stuff, and like the Eternals literally shows Celestials just like in the flesh walking around and shit. So
big, yeah.
there's a chance that sort of stuff is coming, and we're not ready for it, and it's gonna blow all of our minds, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not staying on Earth anymore. Everything is, I mean, we are to some degree, but everything else is just out there,
Hmm.
which is great because it's just brings more of a sci-fi feel
Oh yeah.
to Marvel, and um, like just the possibilities of what we'll see will be pun intended fantastic.
Ha, 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 I can't wait for
Ah,
that movie. All right, give us one more, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
yeah, I was kind of thinking this what was in line with what you mentioned about the Internals, because I know they said in season two we'll be seeing um some characters from the Eternals,
From Phase 4.
from
Yeah.
and other Phase Four people, like Shang Chi. I know Shang Chi was dropped, so I feel like with maybe something that they could do Shang Chi wise is, what if what if the Ten Rings weren't defeated? What if he really ended up joining his father
Oh man.
years ago and
Oof.
became like the successor of the Ten Rings and just kind of wreaked havoc? Then you've got, Shang-Chi with the 10 rings, fighting the Avengers potentially. How would that have actually, gone down? It's kind of like not even talking about the movie so much about the, that dragon, that soul-sucking
Yeah.
dragon at the end. But just him using the rings alone,
Right.
and then the ninjas that they have, like their army, he
Hmm.
teams up with his sister, and they just, it's like the whole family starts to sort of take over. So you've got, you know oh god, what's the name of the uh having a brain fart with the organization that was in WandaVision.
Sword.
Sword, yes. I was gonna say strike, but not strike. Sword. So you've got like sword versus the Ten Rings.
Hey, that'd be cool. I
That'd
I
be
feel like the
pretty
good what if
interesting.
for that would be like, what if Shang-Chi's mom didn't die and the
Yeah,
family stuck together, and then like Shang-Chi became like Wenwu's apprentice and then
right.
had the rings or whatever.
Yeah,
That would be fun. And just talking about Shang-Chi makes me want to watch that movie again. So I've
yeah,
only
for
seen
sure.
it just
I've only
the
seen it
one
once.
time,
Yeah,
and it hits Disney Plus on November 12th, and then I think is on uh, Blu-ray a couple weeks after that. So that's pretty exciting. Can't wait to check
good.
it out again. Phase 4 is looking good. I'm
Fact.
very excited. I think they said that we should be getting a second Spider-Man trailer before Eternals hits, and then the first trailer for Doctor Strange 2 before Spider-Man hits. So hold on to your butts.
Yeah, I kind of figured they would show us a trailer during, like, right before the Eternals, like, in
Yeah.
theater sort of thing, but,
Yep. Which, if
if
that's
we
the plan, like probably the week of like November 1st, you'll probably get the trailer online, and then they'll
yeah,
show it in theaters
yeah.
with the Eternals. So who knows? There are rumors that we may see one of the other Spider-Men at the end of the second trailer for No Way Home. So
So we might
it's
have to
about
do
to be,
a reaction.
yeah, it might be like a watch us poop our pants when
Yeah, when we
Andrew
see
Garfield shows up at the end of the trailer.
which it's kind of interesting if Andrew shows up, that Toby will, and vice versa.
Hmm.
So whoever they decide to show in the trailer,
Yeah.
they might save for the actual release
What
of
if they
the
show both at the end of the trailer? And they're just like, you know what? This is a horribly kept secret. Cat's out of the bag. Come see this movie because it's going to be wild.
man. Yeah,
Woo.
that would be big. And again, and everyone would be like, "Oh, we were right." And it's like, well, yeah, but I don't know if
It's
I
a
want
horribly
to.
kept secret.
Yeah,
No one can
absolutely.
claim being right about that.
I know. I don't know if I want to see if I want to see both of them in the trailer. I think
Yeah.
I would rather see maybe Andrew
Okay.
Garfield first in this final trailer, and then see Toby in theaters when the movie
Okay.
drops.
And then have like that anticipation of like, I think they're going
When
to
does
do
it
it, but are they
happen?
actually going to do it? When's it going to
Right.
happen? Yeah. If I had to guess, I would say you'll probably get more Andrew in the movie, and then Toby will be like a third act type thing. But honestly, who knows at this point? I feel like Marvel might not even know, because I'm sure they
Where's
reshot
Feige?
a bunch of stuff and they handed out fake scripts because
Oh yeah.
spoilers and all that fun stuff. So realistically, all I'm rooting for in that movie is to see Charlie Cox show up and have Matt Murdock be in the MCU. But
Yeah, big time.
Fingers big time crossed for that. So that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hit you with a little bit of our own what ifs and some wild things that could potentially happen in a second season. Marvel, if your writing staff is listening, you know where to reach us. We accept
A
cryptocurrency only. NFTs and Bitcoin. If you like this video, go ahead and click that like button. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you thought. Share a what if with us. If there's anything in your brain that has been swirling around, put it out for the internet to see it, and we'll make sure
yes.
to respond to every comment that comes through. We're doing great with our subscriber count. Y'all are doing a
Yes.
terrific job. We're
Thank you.
marching towards 1,000, which is our next goal. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. You will get more than your fair share of movie, TV, Blu-ray reviews, and just general nerd stuff. I also
Indeed.
want to thank everybody who came out for the live stream on Monday night. That was a ton of
Indeed.
fun. We had like close to 30 people on at one point.
Yeah.
Great little chat going on. We're going to do that probably once every couple weeks. I think the next one we're going to do is the week after Dune
Dune.
comes out, so that way we can talk spoilers and just clean up the brain leakage that's going to come out of our ears after we all see that one. So
Yep.
lots of great stuff coming, so be on the lookout for all of it and so much more. And until next time, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace.